Welcome back to the Red Wings Report with Strings and Pucks. This is Jeremy Laura. It's time for your 7-minute wings. Detroit's coming off a shutout loss against the Golden Knights. Vegas outshot the Wings, but John Gibson was excellent with a .971 save percentage. Kept the team in, stopped 33 of 34, but the Red Wings just weren't able to answer. This was a really solid glimpse of the difference of a rebuilding team that wants to get to the next level, that wants to get to the playoffs, and a team that expects to compete for the Stanley Cup. All throughout the game, you could see that the Golden Knights just have a certain confidence about the way they play. The star power on the team is a bit baffling when you see the newly added Marner, when you see Jack Eichel, when you see line after line of player who they can manage the puck, they can buy themselves time and space. This is a game where it feels like Detroit should be impressed that they were able to hang in there for 60 minutes. And again, Gibson had to come up strong for them. But the team did come wave after wave. What it felt like was happening was that Detroit was held to the perimeter quite a bit. So a lot of their shots, if they got through, they weren't the highest chance opportunity. When they would get around the net, Vegas just does such a good job covering the net mouth, shutting down those opportunities. I picked the Golden Knights coming out of the West this year in my early predictions. We were asked over at hockeyhotstove.com. And just what Vegas does year in and year out, adding a star like Marner, you add a 100-point player to the system, and they're also able to get guys on big contracts onto long-term IR. Mark Stone's shut down. Pietrangelo may be done. So Vegas is an example of kind of the newer mindset of just buy and build. So buy and build, in contrast to draft and develop, is building a dynasty a dead model? I don't think it is. And one of the things that Vegas has that's unique that Detroit could never have is, as an expansion team, they were able to wheel and deal in a way that, they bring in Marc-Andre Fleury when they open up, a Hall of Fame goaltender. They made good deals, and each year they seem to make these big deals that everyone thinks is impossible. Bringing Jack Eichel in a little while back, bringing in Mitch Marner. They're adding pieces that you could build a team around, and it's impressive to watch. They're every bit the team that you think they would be when you look at the firepower that they've got. So overall, Detroit goes 3-2 on this road trip, 9-5-0 to start the season. As of this morning, they're ranked 4th in the league and 2nd in the Atlantic Division. The Montreal Canadiens, they're off to a monster start. That team just seems to have done so much right in what they've added and how they've built. Detroit needs to find a way to let this be a net positive. You could see the frustration in Larkin's face in the post game, but honestly, you lost a 1-0 game. That's what the NHL does. You can't account for when goaltenders just step up and take over. You manage 24 shots on net, none of them get by, and your goalie stopped 33 of 34. That performance, more often than not, is going to lead to a win, or at least a point in overtime. If your goalie's giving you that any other time and your scoring kicks in, you're just up against what I believe to be a championship caliber team. When I look at the West, I'm looking at the Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers, and it feels like one of those two teams could lift a cup. I feel like Detroit should still be happy with the effort that they put in, not just against the Golden Knights, but this road trip. The teams come together, 9-5-0 to start the season. Their penalty kill, they only had one PK last night. Obviously, they were perfect on the PK. That change alone That was the most significant move so far this year, where the team went from dead last to, in the top 10 penalty kills in the league. The power play, they had 2 chances and they didn't make hay with either of them. The team needs to find more offensive prowess. Patrick Kane, it sounds like he's returning. The team had called up Austin Watson from the Grand Rapids roster, but he's been reassigned, and that indicates that Kane may be ready for the contest against the Rangers. The team gets a couple days off to rest and reset, much needed after a road trip like this. And honestly, they have to be able to step back and look at what they did really well on this road trip. And for me, the last 2 games, San Jose and Vegas, were 2 of their best 60-minute efforts, not just this year, but going back a bit. Collectively, they look at this, they know what they have to build on. Patrick Kane should be returning. The only thing I'm hoping for this team is that somehow they can make a deal for another top 4 defenseman. That is starting to stick out quite a bit more, where the fall off when Seider is not on the ice, and Edvinsson's been playing better and better, but there is a fall off when one of those 2 big guys isn't out there, and they've been playing them together at times. So it really stands out. It'd be great to see Detroit lock down another top 4 defenseman to put in the mix as Sandin-Pellikka continues to grow his game. Let me know what you think. Was it a good game? Just they ended up on the wrong side of it? What do you want to see as they come back against the Rangers after a couple days off? And are you happy with the season so far? If you're new here, please click the like, please click the subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.